Why would you not let me see your face?
What do you know it?
It sounded like it said you already know it.
Everybody's psychic, and we are going to bring in somebody who does not consider themselves psychic to prove just that.
I got a feeling that he did like a bunch of shady work. Like,
What is happening?
what happened?
It stopped. Huh, you made a comment about shady work and the app broke. It's not doing anything now.
Stop. Stop.
We're gonna be inviting this person in, teaching them how to utilize psychic skill sets, doing a paranormal investigation, and lastly, talk to a historian to see if anything that we pick up on can be proved and supported through historical documentation. I'm Rebekah the Ghost Guide, and a few years ago, I would have never called myself psychic. Then, I realized the things I was experiencing could not be explained by just my physical senses. I started sharing my spiritual awakening online, amassing millions of views and creating a community of people who are looking to get in touch, not only with themselves, but with the spiritual world all around us. With a blend of intuition, energy work, and real-world exploration, I guide people through their own spiritual awakenings, because the spiritual world isn't just somewhere out there. It's right here, waiting for us to tune in. We are in Wilmington, North Carolina, one of the most underrated haunted hotspots in the United States, and we happen to be in one of the most haunted bars, Underfront. Today we're meeting with Trudy. She has always had a fascination with ghosts and haunted things. However, for her to actually refer to herself as psychic, I'm hoping that by the end of the day, she feels more confident in saying just that. I really want to break this down in real time to help her better understand how she is experiencing these things. I am so excited to be sharing these experiences with you. Let's go get Trudy. So, if you would tell us, Trudy, what is your experience with the paranormal? Like, how did you get into this? How'd you find me?
I would say I started with the paranormal around 2009, maybe. Just kind of, everybody goes on those little ghost tours, or you get like a public investigation, you get to go in for a couple hours. And so I started with one of those and went on another, and then I went on another, and then I started finding friends in the paranormal, and then I started joining teams. So I was scrolling through TikTok one day, and somehow I got on the spiritual side. And so I got on some of your TikToks, and I was looking through, and I said, this has happened to me. And I got so excited. It was just like a pull. I was like, oh, I need to talk to her.
So with that, I mean, you have these kind of inclinations, you have these kind of intuitive feelings and hits. Do you consider that psychic? Do you consider yourself psychic?
I don't, but I like to be. Yes.
Okay.
I've taken some of the advice that you've given me, and I try to put it together with investigation. So my goal is to try to see how the spirit side, I can hook it to the equipment side of it. So it's like extra validation for what I'm feeling at the time. Yeah.
And to be able to get faster evidence too.
Oh yeah.
I think that'll be helpful. Well, I'm gonna be working with you on some activations today. While we're doing the reads, I'm gonna break things down one at a time. I'm gonna be making my own reads. So that way I'll have a bunch of things already laid out. All you have to do is just focus on your own intuition, your own skill sets. I will talk you through these things so that it doesn't feel like everything all at once. Do you get any sort of intuitive pings off the bat being in this space?
At the moment, no. It's very quiet and it's very serene, and I really like it. So it kind of gives me a baseline to go with.
No worries at all. I totally know where you're coming from, and we're gonna work through that.
Sounds good.
Before Trudy comes in, I'm gonna be doing my own reads on the space, and I'm gonna be doing a lot of reads. I'm gonna write down all of my notes, and then we're gonna bring Trudy in. I will go through the exercise with her to activate her and help her feel more confident, and then we're gonna see what she picks up on and if it corresponds with what I'm picking up on now. I have my notes here. And I picked up on a few different folks. I picked up on a woman who's behind me here. I picked up on a man who's over there. And then I picked up on some residual things, such as stuff that's going on the street, behind me, literally in the dirt, as well as some things that are going on above me. So if Trudy happens to pick up on the more residual things, such as out there or up there, what I'm gonna try to do is pull her back into this space. So hopefully we can talk to either one of the folks that are hanging out pretty close to us right now. Welcome to the stage of Underfront.
I've always wanted to be on the stage.
And here you are. Well, before I actually get into any of the work that we're about to do, just off the cuff, are you getting anything?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel really heavy in my chest. It's like, do I really want to stand right here? Kind of heavy feeling.
Do you feel safe standing there?
I don't like being right here, but
Okay.
I'm okay for now.
Okay. All right. So what you are describing is something called clairsentience, which is psychic physical feeling. It's something that is not yours that you physically feel. Now, one thing I want to be sure about is that you feel safe no matter what. There are things that are kind of coming your way, and what I want to do is work with your energy to just better understand them. So for this, let's just take another good deep breath. As we get into the read, let us know down in the comments if you're picking up on any vibes on your end. I want you to pay attention to your own senses real quick. We're looking inward right now. And just kind of do a scan from the top of your head down to your toes. That's what you want to maintain. That's your energy.
When Rebekah did the initial exercise on the stage, I knew something was really, truly happening then because you could feel everything. You knew what was you and you knew what wasn't.
I want you to imagine as if you have wings that are around you and they simply just cover up your chest. And what we're gonna do is widen these wings to be out behind you. Now, at any point, these wings act as a shield. It can always go back down. So imagine them over your chest. And then when you breathe in, stretch them out. Do you see anything different that you did not see before?
Yeah, and feel, actually. So
Okay.
across here is very tingly and then like pulses of light.
What we're gonna do here is a little bit of a shield. I want you to imagine a kind of like sunglasses, right?
Okay.
So you can still see just like you're using with your eyes, right? But we're just gonna kind of imagine some sunglasses that go over. We're gonna see what we can do for your clairvoyance. All right, so obviously you probably pick up on me standing here because I'm the one talking. They're the camera guys. Yeah, we're aware of them. Anybody else you're aware of?
So my left ear is ringing and it feels a little, I don't want to say darker, like nothing evil, but
Right.
a different shade
Okay, okay.
over here.
Do you feel drawn?
I probably would go over here.
Okay.
Just because there's something about going to a deep dark corner with somebody you don't know.
Okay. So let's kind of move over here a little bit.
Okay.
How somebody enters an environment like this says a lot about how it's gonna go. She came in very curious and very open-minded, but also was protective of her own energy in a way that I think led to an even better investigation. So you picked up on the emotion. Do you pick up on any other traits of this person?
He's not very tall, maybe a couple inches taller than me. I feel like he's annoyed now.
Okay.
Not bad annoyed, but like, why did you pick me kind of thing.
Okay, as far as like what he's wearing.
It's just like dark. The way that I see him is like if he was in the club at that moment or in the bar at that moment. So it's very dim,
Okay.
but it's just around his space. I see us as we are presently, and then I see him as he was when he was alive.
Knowing who you're talking to, yes, that actually really tracks. He's very particular about his spaces and his safe space, and the lighting in particular hits too. Do you get any kind of age? And you can do a range.
30s to 40s.
Is there any indication of what this guy does? And for this, I would say focus less on the imagery and focus more on the clear cognizance, which is just the clear knowing. So if you were just do straight shot answers, does this man work? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Is this man in the bar for work?
Probably.
Does this man seem
Shady?
okay?
Was that bad?
Yeah, no, that's not
Sorry.
bad. Go
Sorry,
into
friend.
it. Why do you say that?
That's just a feeling from just hiding in the dark.
How are you feeling right now? Like, is he making you feel a particular way?
He's not making me feel a different way, but I can see a change in his facial expressions. Like,
Yeah, explain that to me.
kind of like when you've said too much at a party and your friend's like,
Does
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like,
it does.
Like, stop talking?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I think we're done.
Okay.
I think we're done with him.
Okay. Trudy did a great job opening up to some of those psychic feelings she was getting. Once she felt the energy of the man shift, we took that as a sign to stop the reading and go back and see if what we got lined up. We're gonna review my notes.
Okay.
And I did pick up on who you were talking about. Why that corner instead of this one?
As a girl, safety.
What did you feel over there?
I started to not feel anything until I took that last step in, and I dizzy right through the middle of my forehead. I felt masculine instantly. Feeling wise, everything was fine. But the more that I talked and the more that I said, the more he was like, mm-mm.
Are you ready for the reads?
I guess. Here we go.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you first a little bit about what's behind door number 1, which you did not choose. That's a lady who's very vocal and was likely a sex worker in the mid-ish 1800s. And what's interesting too, she appears feminine, though her energy can be rather masculine and sometimes a little bit intimidating, because that's how she got clients, right?
Right.
So she was hanging out here, but she was hanging out in the dark corner. I think she likes it because it's dark, people don't mess with her, that kind of thing. But you chose door number 2, which was a man. I'll be honest, having done some investigations here before, I was not expecting him to show up for us. So that man, he likes to make people doubt themselves. It's like he was giving you breadcrumbs to be like, you can do it, or can you? You can do it, or can you? And then there was that like added element of, I'm annoyed with you. I'm annoyed with you. Can't you do it?
Maybe he chose me. I have a tendency to doubt what I see sometimes.
Sure.
So I wonder if he just kind of picked up on that.
You got the hard ghost.
Level 10.
Yeah. I'm going to read my notes on this man in the corner.
Okay.
So I've said man in top hat, plus suit, plus pocket watch. I did pick up on a darker suit. I was picking up on more black, I think occasionally gray. You picked up on brown, but think of it here. We both picked up on a dark suit, so let's count that, okay? I wrote down Jack because I've run into him before. Late 1800s style, and then also really unsettling smile. He is such a man that likes being in the dark, likes being mysterious and that kind of thing. And the more you were picking up on so much more than I think you realized. If it felt confusing, you were also correct. So in hearing my notes, how much of that resonates with you?
A lot of it really does. Again, like I said, I really couldn't see here, but everything else sounds, pretty much spot on.
We're gonna give you a little breather, but then we are going to go over to Theron and see if we can get some evidence in regards to who this is and if he would step forward and we can prove his existence.
Sounds good.
Well, hello there.
Hello, Theron. This is Trudy. Trudy
Hi.
Theron.
Good to meet you.
Well, Trudy made some pretty great reads. I'm not going to get into what they are. I don't want to prime you, though we ran into some interesting stuff. So if I might hand Trudy off to you so that you can get into the more investigation sorts of things, and we'll see what we can verify today.
I'm excited. Are you ready?
I am.
All right. So, do you have any familiarity with paranormal investigating?
A few things. I use these a lot. Usually have a camera, maybe a recorder. This is probably something I've used before, but in a different shape or form.
So, good, you got some familiarity. This is great. Okay. So, this is a REM pod, and we want them to be able to touch this. The closer they get, the louder it gets.
Okay.
This is our spirit box, and this is a computer that has a program called Phasmabox.
Okay.
It helps spirits to be able to communicate out loud without the static behind it, like with a spirit box. With the reads that you did, since I have no idea and I don't really want to know, what do you feel most drawn to that you think would elicit the best response to help validate the experiences you're having today?
Something to read to pick up if they're there, but I really would like to see if spirit will talk.
All right.
I really would.
So, we're going to go for the Phasmabox.
Okay.
Why don't we go for one of these boys?
Okay.
And then I'll grab you 2 of these since this is something that you know how to set. There you go.
Yay.
Are you ready to get started?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get into it.
If you're watching this and you're just like, whoa, Rebekah, your quality, fantastic. I would like to thank my Patreons for that, because without my Patreons, this wouldn't be possible. And if I'm being totally real with you right now, without your viewership, without your shares, without your subscriptions, something to this quality will not happen again. So if you believe in what I'm doing, if you believe that everybody is psychic, if you believe that ghosts don't have to be scary and can actually teach us something about history, join the Patreon. I teach people how they too can be psychic, how they too can believe in themselves. And that can be shared with you as well. So thank you so much to my Patreons who support me, who have made all of this possible and made an incredible day for all of us here. And if you want more of this, I think you know what to do.
This is Phasmabox. It is an application that is specifically for the computer, and it is a way for ghosts to be able to speak out loud. There is a bank on the inside that cannot be changed around or anything like that, and essentially, when we turn it on, they can pull the words that they want to use. Sometimes it comes out as words and sounds. Sometimes it's full sentences. You did the read.
Okay.
You know what you experienced. So I want you to frame your questions to get that validation of the yes, the no, maybe the names and things like that. So
Okay.
I give you the floor. I will translate as I hear it to help you along.
Okay. Is the person I was feeling earlier here?
That's right. That's what it sounded like. True.
Do you have a name?
So there was a couple of different responses, but I didn't feel like
Yeah.
any of them were super specific to that question.
Right.
I would suggest reframe the question.
Okay.
And try again and see if we could get a more specific response.
If you don't want to tell us your name, is there something that we can call you? I can hear
People think
they're like
They're having a
different-
conversation.
Yeah, they're like different voice. There's like female, there's male, there's so that.
So anyway,
right? Yes. Why wouldn't you let me see your face?
because you can't. Maybe ask some questions specifically on the appearance, see if he can confirm some of the look that he had.
I saw dark hair. Is this true?
I'm going to say that's an affirmative.
Yeah. I still want to ask that question. Like, why wouldn't you not let me see your face?
It sounded like it said you already know it. So one of my preferences as an investigator is to not know where I'm going and what I'm getting into. I don't want to be expecting something specific and then looking for something specific and then missing other things that might be more poignant or more specific to the situation. Are we aware of who you are?
That was very aggressive.
It sounded as if it said, I am the man. Well, if you are the man, you should move forward.
That's all right. Come talk to us.
Talk to me. Oh, okay.
Right.
Now I suppose he's ready.
See, and I kind of felt come to me, and I was like, oh no. I got a feeling that he did like a bunch of shady work. Like he wasn't really a nice person. So.
What is happening?
What happened?
It stopped. Huh, you made a comment about shady work and the app broke. It's not doing anything now. Oh, there we go. So that's a really good sign that
Okay.
he's done talking to you specifically.
Oh.
I have to do the diagnostic and fix it.
Stop.
You asked about shady business. He made a point. Wow, you are an excellent investigator. Congrats.
Well, thank you.
You talked to somebody, and I think you agitated him a little bit.
Sorry, friend.
Theron and Trudy got some really interesting evidence from their investigation. Now it's time to see if what we got throughout the day matches up with the history of the building.
All right, I've got some questions on a little bit of the history. So just to see if the reads that Trudy made actually match up with what we know about this building. So what can you tell us about this building, the history of it?
This building in particular started construction about 1896, finished about 1906. But the bigger history of the area is that it's part of the original port system for Wilmington. So this building in this form has existed for about 120 years, but likely during the 1800s, maybe as early as 1700s, these would have been kind of ramshackle homes, receiving bays, and have activity going on for the span of almost 400 years.
What we've gathered from the cross-validation that I know of, we've run across a man who is, I'd say, closer to the 40s in age, wearing a top hat. Once coming in, took the top hat off, looked more like late 1800s. And the word that Trudy used was very shady. In the investigation portion, when they started to look into what he was and try to learn more information about him, a bunch of the technology broke. I'm under the suspicion that he was doing some not great activity down here. I'm curious, would it make sense for, because I saw more of like a businessman kind of guy being down here, but would it make sense for a businessman to be down here, and why would it be shady? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of good answers for that. Late 1800s, 1888, after Civil War and rebuilding in Wilmington, it opened again as a major southern port. This is where all the transient population lived. This is where you would get all the things and all the trouble you want when you've been at sea for a long time. It's part of the community that's totally underserved and unrecognized, but is populated by drugs and prostitution and gambling. So aristocrats would come from the center of the city and be almost completely anonymous and disappear into it because they can pay their way out of it.
Have you experienced anything that you might consider paranormal or even just weird here?
On the stage, there's been cold pockets, usually on the left side, and the staff have felt it on numerous occasions. You can walk into it like a mist and then it dissipates.
You've mentioned that paranormal isn't exactly your thing, you know? All the same, you keep letting us come back here, which is really, really cool. Why do you do that?
I think that it's curiosity.
Oh,
I
okay,
think,
well.
I think that's it. I mean, the scope of my understanding is just limited to me. I think that a lot of the things that you say line up with what I know to be true from a historical perspective, so it makes me wonder.
Yeah.
And I like that feeling.
Well, thank you so much again for your time, and thank you for letting us in here again. I'm gonna meet up with Theron and Trudy and let them know what we discussed. How are you feeling after the investigation?
So a little drained, but still excited.
Yeah. Totally valid?
Yeah.
How did Trudy do?
Trudy did amazing.
All right.
Yeah, they were using the reads they did, they were guiding the questions really well, and got some pretty interesting stuff.
It started off kind of slow. We kept getting different kind of voices coming in. Like we'd get a female voice, we'd get a male voice.
Rebekah, they broke my Phasma box. You were asking a specific question, which was about business dealings, and specifically the word you used was shady.
Yes.
And then the Phasma box errored, and it stopped working. No sound came out, and I was like, oh, well, that's very strange. It doesn't usually do that. Then the touch ball went off at the same time.
Like all at the same time.
Wow, what a way to say no. And to think he could have just said no. Do you know who it is? Do you know who did that?
I think I have a good idea, yeah.
Would you say it matched up with the same guy that we talked to last time?
I would say energetically, responsively, the little flare of dramatic that we got. Oh yeah. There's only one ghost that could have been.
Here's the thing with the Phasma box. If somebody were watching and they were just like, the computer's just making noises, especially with like how it cut off like that, what would you say to that? Like, how do we quantify this as actual evidence?
So one of the things we're looking for is purposeful response. Ask a direct question, get a direct answer. Something that I noticed when we were working together, there was a lot of direct answer. You asked a question and it would pop out with an answer. I've never had a situation, I've been using that computer for quite a while, where it just stopped, errored out, and just didn't want to work. How poignant it is that he didn't want to answer that question, and the method of which he could just stopped working. It can be both mundane and magical at the same time.
I was just speaking with Joe, the owner. He was saying that the history of this location matches up pretty well with who this guy is. He was saying that it would make sense for a businessman to come down here, but for a businessman to not necessarily want to be seen once the business was done.
Oh.
The more we dug into what he looked like, what he did, he was pulling back. That lines up with the history as well. You have done the reads, you have been through an investigation, and you have learned the history. And with all of that considered, would you consider yourself psychic?
If I was to compare myself to you guys, I would immediately say, oh no, I cannot do that. But I just picked up on a spirit and was able to see what he looked like. So yeah, that would be psychic, right? That would be psychic skill, so.
Literally.
Actually.
So I guess the answer would be yes.
And you excelled.
Thank
Truly,
you so much.
excelled.
You did an incredible job.
Thank you.
Amazing.
I'm literally gonna share this experience with everybody and use the same practice that she showed me today when I go to do my regular investigations, and hopefully help my teammates do the same thing, and then just kind of spread awareness that everybody can do this.
I was very impressed by what she was able to pick up on. on, the questions that she was asking, her having understanding of the equipment, how to set it up and work with it. Overall, I think it went really well. I think we got exactly what we needed in the moment in time that we had to do it.
Sometimes in order to better read and understand what we're reading, we just have to have it simplified. Everybody can be psychic. Everybody can understand their intuition. And Trudy, I think, proved that today. Today we saw somebody come in who did not consider themselves psychic. Start to wonder if maybe they were, which goes back to my point. Everybody's psychic. But if that's not enough for you, I think you should follow the next episode where we're gonna be taking somebody brand new who isn't so much into all of this stuff and in a whole new location. Should I say, subscribe for more?
I'm exhausted. I feel like I've run a marathon.
Like,
No, I think you could just be like, well, thank you so much for your time.
Okay.
And for the information.
thanks for your time. Thanks for letting us be here. Let's go to lunch. Let's go get Trudy. Let's meet up with Trudy. That's it. Trudy's somewhere. We are gonna go get her. Kidnap her from the street. Okay.
I think that should be it, and then you just walk off.
Let's go kidnap Trudy. Okay.